Hey, contractors, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Tools. It's just yours truly, your host, Krystal Hobbs. A little bit of a different episode today. It's just you and I here, and really wanted to share a couple of the things that have been coming up consistently when thinking about how to grow your business and what the next year looks like when it comes to your marketing. So listen, I have a bunch of different interests, but one of them is electronic music, and I've been super into this artist producer Fred again this year. I promise this is going to be related to you, so stick with me here. But one of the things I've been obsessed with is Fred again did this campaign for launching a new album where he did 10 cities in 10 weeks with 10 new songs. So in each city, he released a new song live in front of an audience to hear it for the first time. And what really inspired me here wasn't just the music, but really the marketing lesson behind it. We're seeing this huge cultural shift right now where we've been so digitally attached. We're on our phones all the time, and most of us as a society have begun to resent that and looking at ways to get away from technology. We see Gen Z buying dumb phones. You're seeing digital cameras making a comeback. I can't tell you the first time I went to an event and I saw some younger folks with like a point and click camera, and I was like, what is going on? But ultimately, people are craving real life connections again, and especially post pandemic. People want to get back to in person and not being so attached to our devices. So what Fred again got right was that it was really about community first and online buzz second. So we're not seeing the same. What a lot of artists are doing, of course, is, randomly releasing an album like Beyonce did years ago, or Taylor Swift has this huge uprising around an album coming out and, leaking that in a podcast and then all this digital content coming from that. What Fred again did was really in-person first and community first, and then letting the online world catch up after, which I thought was so interesting. So how does that relate to the HVAC industry? Really, what most of us have gotten into the habit of doing is hiding behind our screens. We depend on Google and Meta to get our businesses out there. And because that's been a very trackable, cost-effective way to generate leads for your business, some of us have gotten lazy. And I am certainly in this camp where the last few years I haven't been as engaged in person. I haven't been going to events and conferences and the association meetings and all that sort of stuff. So this is something that I think we're starting to see a big shift to people wanting to get back face to face. So how that works when it comes to your business, and Stephanie Allen, who was just a guest on our podcast, talked about this a lot as well. You can't rely exclusively on digital marketing to grow your business, especially when you literally serve local families in your community. We all know what an impact it is when you actually meet someone, when you go to their home, you meet their family, you help them, you shake their hands, you pet their dog. That has such an incredible impact that you just cannot mimic with marketing alone. So how do you get in front of more people? How do you physically get in front of more people to build that connection and that in-person meeting that you can't replicate with advertising alone? So as a company in the trades, you have a built-in advantage. Everything you do is face-to-face, and trust is earned face-to-face. You know that decisions to buy new heating and cooling equipment are not only financial, but also emotional and relationship driven. who is reliable, who's approachable, who answers their question, who is a part of their community. So what I encourage you to do as you plan the next year ahead is to think about some simple, low-cost, community-first ideas. So for example, one of our clients, New Victorian Homes, they do a barbecue every summer where they invite all their sub-trades, all their partners, and it's a way to network, to give back to the people that have worked so hard for them all year. And it's something that the community really looks forward to. Low cost, and there's something about the leadership of the company flipping burgers and hot dogs for the team that they work with every day. Halloween time, you see more companies doing trunk or treats where it's something fun, it's visible, it's about families. That's a great way to get out in the community. Joining your local Christmas parade. I am such a big fan of Christmas parades. I think they are just so lovely and wholesome. And I'm always surprised how few trades companies I see participating in them. That's something that you can get the team involved and their families, and you can have a lot of fun with that. And you're getting very low cost, very engaging in-person time with your community. Think about volunteering as a team. What better way to build bonds with your team than serving others and really thinking about the people that need the most support? Soup kitchens, food banks, habitat builds, toy drives. These are things that can get you out in the community, can really build the connection with your team and allow you to give back. Home shows, these trade shows that really allow you to get in front of homeowners who are actively researching. Also look at sponsoring your local sports teams and events, concerts, different community initiatives, showing up where your customers are and where they're already engaged. So these are just a few ideas, but it's really about getting in front of people physically, and then marketing can come from that. Take photos, take videos. You will likely even get reviews, some referrals, different things happening as an indirect byproduct of that as well. But make sure to capture all the content that you can while you're doing these things so that you can amplify what's happening in person. But the idea is that you're connecting person to person first, and your online presence is just amplifying that. Okay, so don't overthink it too much. You can start small. Pick one event, one thing you're going to do in the next 30 to 60 days, and think about, how do I get in front of people? How can we bring people together and not just think about what ads can I run to get more leads?